Hello friends, welcome into NFL Daily. I am your host, Tom Downey. On today's video, we're taking a look at Todd McShay's latest NFL mock draft, and we'll react to it, break down the good picks and some bad ones that were in there as well. It's 2 rounds, so we're going through 64 picks on this one. At the very top, really no surprises here, very expected. Joe Burrow is number 1. Chase Young goes number 2 to the Redskins. Jeffrey Okudah goes number 3 to the Detroit Lions. Isaiah Simmons goes number 4 to the Giants. I've got no complaints. That makes a whole lot of sense to me. Same at number 5. Tua goes to the Miami Dolphins. That also makes a ton of sense. Where things start to get a little bit different in McShay's mock draft, Jordan Love goes off the board at number 6 overall to the LA Chargers. Now, McShay has made this clear that he thinks Love is going to be taken before Justin Herbert does. As you guys know, if you're a longtime subscriber, I like Jordan Love entering this year. He was not very good this season. There's no way around that. So who is the better quarterback? Let me know what you guys think. Type L for Jordan Love, H for Justin Herbert. I still believe in the upside of Jordan Love, but between the two, I'm going to take Justin Herbert every single time. I'm typing in my H. All right, back to number 7 here. Derrick Brown to the Panthers. Tristan Wirfs to the Cardinals. 2 picks that also make sense for me. Now, remember, since Jordan Love went number 6, that meant Justin Herbert fell all the way down to number 9, where the Jacksonville Jaguars pick him up. It's an intriguing pick because Jacksonville isn't mocked a quarterback very often. I know they have Gardner Minshew. If Herbert's there at 9, I'd probably go ahead and pull the trigger if I'm Jacksonville. So this might be a different mock draft pick, but I actually like this one out of McShay. Jedrick Wills, number 10 to the Browns. I like it. JEUDY goes number 9 to the Jets. That makes sense. I love CeEDEE Lambsford out of Oklahoma to the Raiders there at number 12. And then McShay finishes up a run on the top-end receivers by going with Henry Ruggs to the 49ers at number 13 overall. So all of the big 3 wide receivers, if you will, go in succession, 11, 12, and 13. They all have different strengths and weaknesses. Obviously, Ruggs' production isn't as impressive as JEUDY's or Lamb's was this past year, but all 3 of them are fantastic wide receiver draft prospects. I like them all. They've all got round 1 grades for me. So let me know in the comments section, who is your top receiver this year? You can take any of the receivers. Which one do you take? Type A for JEUDY, B for Lamb, or C for Henry Ruggs. Cast your votes in the comments. By the way, this will be the pinned comment on the video. So if you get that ad break here on YouTube, scroll down, cast your votes right there. All right, moving along in round 1, Mekhi Becton to the Bucs. That's fantastic value. Not sure he's going to slide that far. Andrew Thomas to the Denver Broncos. I don't mind that one. And Javon Kinlaw slides down to 16. So because there's an early run on quarterbacks and wide receivers, Thomas, Kinlaw, and Becton all slide a little bit further to 14, 15, and 16, respectively. Now, this might be Todd McShay's mock draft, but if you guys want to be in charge of a mock draft, then hit that big red button and subscribe. That is coming up on Monday. We will let you, not me, not McShay, not Mitch, you guys will make the pick. So if you want to be a part of that, subscribe and pay attention Monday night. We are doing a fan-led NFL mock draft. All right, moving on now to number 17, C.J. Henderson. I love that pick for the Cowboys. Xavier McKinney at number 18 is interesting to me. I know that the top offensive tackles are off the board and safety is a need for Miami, and McKinney is viewed as the consensus, in air quotes, number 1 safety this year. But I'd prefer offensive line pick here for Miami. You can get a not as good McKinney, but a reliable starting safety, I think, later on in this in this year's NFL draft. Some more picks that I don't know about. Antoine Winfield, I like him more as a nickel safety hybrid. The Raiders have one of those in LaMarcus Joyner, but you can make him a free safety. I think he'll end up being okay, so that one's not too bad. Brandon Ayuk then comes in as the 4th receiver off the board, and I will be honest, I don't love it. I don't mind the idea of getting, remember the Jack took Herbert earlier, a new playmaker on offense, but Ayuk over other receivers? No. Not a fan. Eagles go Patrick Queen at number 21. So a linebacker, not the much needed receiver that team needs. Instead, they get an impact linebacker. Different, but I could get on board with it. But I do like number 22, Justin Jefferson to the Minnesota Vikings. Now, his production was inflated because the LSU offense was literally unstoppable this past year. But Jefferson to help replace Stephon Diggs, that does make quite a bit of sense to me for the Minnesota Vikings. Number 23, A.J. Epinesa goes to the Patriots. I actually kind of like the fit because I think Epinesa needs to play in a defense like the Patriots. They can make him into their Trey Flowers. But again, passing on some receivers is interesting to me. I've mocked Kenneth Murray myself to the New Orleans Saints several times before, so this one makes a whole lot of sense to me. I like this fit. They need an impact linebacker. I like Murray a little bit more than Queen, so from that perspective, it's a great pick for the Saints. Speaking of the Saints, you can get their draft hat. Heck, all the NFL draft hats, minus the Raiders for some odd reason, are out. Chatsports.com/NFL draft hat. All types of styles, fitted, adjustable. They've got the flat bills, the snapbacks, the more rounded, typical style. All kinds of variety is out. And unlike most years, I actually like this year's NFL's draft hats. In the past, they've tried to do way too much. They've made it simple. So head over chatsports.com/NFL draft hat. That's chatsports.com/NFL draft hat. I will put that link in the comments and the description to make your life easier as well. Back to the Vikings here. They take Stephon Diggs' brother. I don't think they're going to do that. I just have a tough time seeing the Vikings saying, yeah, we'll take the guy, the player we just traded away, even though corner is a big-time need for them. I like the Dolphins getting Josh Jones here. They need offensive line help. Then some great value comes in at number 27 overall. K'Lavon Chaisson goes to the Seattle Seahawks. Remember, there's uncertainty right now around what will happen with Clowney and the defensive line in general for Seattle. If he falls to 27 and he's taken after guys like Epinesa, I will be very surprised. If Seattle could pull this off without trading up, that would frankly be one of my favorite picks in the first round of this year's NFL draft. I really like that fit for the Seattle Seahawks. I think that would be a good path for them to pursue. Now for a pick I don't like, that's Ross Blacklock at 28 going to out of TCU to the Ravens. I don't think he's worth the first round pick. I know a couple of the ESPN guys, Kiper and McShay, are high on him. I think there are better interior guys up there, and frankly, that's not even the biggest need right now for Baltimore. Number 29, back to a good pick here. Turgos Matos out of Penn State goes to Tennessee. They do still need more edge help long-term. I like that fit for the Titans. The Packers take T. Higgins at number 30. Remember, they signed Devin Funchess. Higgins could play a more long-term, of course, similar type of role for that offense and receiver, after all, is a big-time need. Number 31, the 49ers take A.J. Terrell out of Clemson. Beyond that national championship game, he played pretty well, but in that game, he really struggled. Then there's number 32, DeAndre Swift. I don't know. Maybe McShay wanted to sneak a running back into the first round. I don't like this pick for the Chiefs because they got holes on their defense. There are good corners on the board. You can get by with Damian Williams because your passing attack is so great, so dynamic. So for Kansas City, I don't like the idea of going with Swift in round one. I just think that's a bad idea. I don't like that pick from McShay. Well, let's focus on the positive here with round one finish and round two, of course, coming up. What was McShay's best pick in the first round? In terms of value, I would love if the Seattle Seahawks could get K'Lavon Chaisson at number 27. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section. All right, on now to round two. Austin Jackson, the OT, goes to the Bengals. That makes sense to me. Protect Joe Burrow. Michael Pittman, though, off the board at number 34. I like Michael Pittman. I thought he tested pretty well at the combine for his size, had a fantastic year. He certainly fits what the Colts need. I hate the idea of taking Michael Pittman before Denzel Mims. That doesn't make any sense to me. If the Colts were to do that, as good as that front office is, I think that would be a pretty big reach on their part. I love number 35, though. CESAR RUIZ, the center guard out of Michigan. Great fit for Detroit. That'd be a great 1-2 punch, Okudah and RUIZ. Then Mims goes 36 to the Giants. Player-wise, I love it. I think if you can get Denzel Mims outside the top 30, that's some pretty strong value where I think he ends up going. Don't know about the fit, though. The Giants are okay at wide receiver. Darius Slayton actually played pretty well for them last year. Maybe they'd be better off focusing on the offensive line. That'd be my preferred path there for the Giants. Zach Bond then goes number 37 overall to the LA Chargers. Not sure about his fit. I do like the player, but he's kind of this awkward hybrid between an off-ball linebacker and an edge rusher, and the Chargers already have one of those guys. Uchenna Nwosu, it took like 2 years ago. I don't get that fit. But I do love Christian Fulton going to the Panthers. McShay and Kuiper clearly don't believe that Fulton goes in round 1. Quite frankly, I don't know why. Look at the production. He's a good player. Someone told me he had speed concerns. He ran the 4.4s at the combine. I don't understand why Fulton wouldn't be a round 1 pick. I know it's a good corner class. He frankly should be drafted closer to 18 than 38. J.K. Dobbins to the Dolphins, I do like that one. Justin Madubuike, because that Texans defensive line could use some more, impact pass rushers. Madubuike could end up being that guy. So kind of like that fit at number 40. But back to Dobbins. Who is the best running back in this year's draft? Obviously, Swift has already gone. Dobbins has gone. We're not done seeing backs being taken either. I think for me, it comes down to a close race between 3, Swift, Dobbins, and Jonathan Taylor. You guys can cast your votes in the comment section. I lean towards DeAndre Swift, but it's a really close grouping there at the top. All right, number 41, Grant Delpit. Now, Delpit falling out of round 1 would have sounded crazy like 4 months ago. Not so much now. There are some major tackling concerns, and quite frankly, Delpit wasn't as good last year. That's a big-time red flag in the NFL. But at 41 overall for the Browns, who need a free safety, I love that fit. Neville Gallimore, the Jags at 42. Big fan of that one. Damon Arnett makes sense to me. The Bears at 43. Don't get the Colts going Cole Kmet at 44. I don't think this is a good haul for the Colts. Pittman and Kmet, I think they can do a whole lot better. Number 45, Jeremy Chin, who's almost a safety linebacker hybrid, probably more of a safety to the Bucks. I'm on board with that one. I like keeping Laviska Shenault local, number 46, to the Denver Broncos. They need more help there. Taylor at 47, Jonathan Taylor to the Falcons. Also makes sense to me, even though they did add Todd Gurley, so maybe they could hold off. What doesn't make sense to me is Marlon Davidson to the Jets at 48. Now, I know that Marlon Davidson played defensive end at Auburn. He has since bulked up to over 300 pounds. That is another interior defensive lineman in a 3-4 scheme. The Jets have too many of those. They need speed edge rushers, not another big body. Frankly, that's one of my least favorite player team fits that's available that we've gone through so far. I want to know from you guys, if you've made it to round 2, thank you all very much. How many rounds of the NFL draft will you watch? We're, of course, going to watch all 7. We're going to broadcast all 7 rounds for you guys. So I hope most of you guys type in 7. And if you're typing in 7, you better subscribe as well. On now to number 49, Jacob Eason, the quarterback out of Washington, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They do have a need for a franchise guy. It's not Mason Rudolph. It's not Duck Hodges. Not convinced it's Jacob Eason either. Oh, by the way, they have one top 100 pick this year. Are they going to spend it on a guy who doesn't help them win in 2020? Not sure. Jalen Reagor at 50. I love the value, though it's not the biggest need for the Bears. Josh Uche, like him, going to the Cowboys as another edge rusher. Reminder, McShay's mock did come out before the Aldon Smith signing, but I still think that makes sense, an area that they could pursue. Clyde Edwards-Helaire goes to the Rams to help replace Todd Gurley. Don't mind that one. Jalen Johnson out of Utah goes to Philadelphia. That's fine. How do you not get the Eagles a receiver with their first 2 picks? That does not make much sense to me. Not a fan of that one. Chase Claypool, the big body receiver, goes to the Bills. Okay with that one. Netani Moody, a big body blocker from Fresno State with major injury concerns. I actually like that one. That's a good pick. And then Jordan Elliott out of Missouri to Miami. They need another defensive tackle. Not sure that's the best pick for Miami. Now we're going through day 2 prospects. So let me know in the comment section who your top day 2 prospect is. Now, Christian Fulton, I think, is better than a day 2 prospect. Other guys on this list, well, he fits that build. I'll tell you what, I'm actually pretty high on Josh Uche as well, but let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. Number 57, Jeff Gladney. I take it all back. This is the best day 2 prospect. He's not, I don't think he goes on day 2. He has to go earlier, right? I know that there's some injury concern, but Jeff Gladney played really well at TCU. He ran a 4.48, by the way, despite needing knee surgery. I don't know about you. I'm pretty sure that's really, really difficult to do. So if he goes at 57, I'll be really, really shocked. Terrell Lewis, he goes to the Minnesota Vikings. That makes sense. They need some edge help. Tyler Biadasz goes to the Seattle Seahawks. I'm on board with that one. His stock has fallen, but Seattle needs offensive line help. Devin Duvernay, the speedy slot, goes number 60 to the Ravens. You're going to have some vertical threats there with Marquise Brown and Duvernay. That's fun. I actually really like Isaiah Wilson's fit with the Tennessee Titans in round 2. He is a run-blocking right tackle. That's exactly what Tennessee needs. But Cam Akers at 62. Yeah, not the name you thought we were going to get at the running back spot for Green Bay. It's just interesting, confusing. You can pick whichever word you prefer there. Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams, they're both already on the roster. So you're going to spend a second-round pick on Akers? That's fine, I guess, but I don't know if that's a great path to go for Green Bay. All right, the Chiefs get some defensive corner help here as well. Noah Igbinoghene out of Auburn. Good value at number 63. And then I think a very classic Seattle Seahawks pick at 64. Jason Strowbridge is almost a defensive end, defensive tackle hybrid. Don't know where to play him the best, kind of like Tyrone Crawford. He, though, is the type of player Seattle historically tends to appreciate.